right, so we are here with Hailey Bieber. Hailey and I, we met at the gym. I'm super fit. And then you were like, come to Forma. And then I started doing Pilates at Forma. And now I've gone ever since, which has changed my life.
I have converted you.
So we did, I went on Hailey's YouTube, and which is so fun. And I'm so glad you're on YouTube now. And it's been so good. Subscribe to Hailey on YouTube. So we did the Who's in My Bathroom. And there was a part in it where I was like talking about, you know, whatever, a relationship in my life. And Hailey was like eating. But like, I feel like people took that clip so out of context. Cause like, I mean, we've talked about that so many times. It just happened to be public that time, which like was a different, I mean, it was just a different case because we didn't want it to be serious or like awkward or like, you know, too.
Yeah, I just didn't want it to get too intense and too deep. Like, I never want someone to come on who's in my bathroom and feel like I'm trying to like pry information out of them or like get them to talk about a subject that could potentially be sensitive or uncomfortable for them just for the sake of like views. Or like, that's not the type of person I am. So in that moment, it was like we were making Sundays and we were just like, I was just being silly. Like, I was 100% listening to you. And
I know.
We were just having like a quirky conversation. And I know the whole story of what we were even talking about.
I mean, you know stuff that was, I don't even talk about.
That we didn't talk about,
we haven't even covered.
And, you know, I wanted you to, you know, speak about it if you wanted to and brush up on it for maybe other people to just hear what you had to say in that moment. But that clip that was going around, and someone ended up sending it to me and they were like, you know, are you like, LOL, are you ignoring Addison? And I was like, what is going on? Like, and then I started to notice because I don't really go on Instagram that much, to be honest. I don't go on it during the week. So I didn't know that was happening and that this clip was going around and around and around. And so I saw it and I was like, oh God, like, I don't even care what people thought about it, to be honest. I mean, I know that there was people that were like, that just proves that Hailey's a rude person. And I was like, first of all, I don't really care what people think about it, but what I cared about is if you thought that.
I know, and you called me, and that was really sweet. And like, that's another thing people don't even see either. Like, Hailey like called me, like took the time out of her trip, which is like, you know, time for you. And then, you know, you were like, hey, you know, I just want to make sure, like, you know, that wasn't what happened.
Because I was like, you know me.
And I do.
We know each other behind closed doors and we're friends. So I just want to make sure that you didn't feel that from that video or that like that clip that started going around and then you saw it and you're like, oh, maybe she was ignoring me. I didn't feel that in the moment, but like maybe now that I see it, I see what people are saying and like maybe I do feel a little bit like she wasn't paying attention to me. But
oh my gosh, I promise it
wasn't the case.
I know.
And I only cared that you knew that wasn't the case.
Which of course, I don't know. The other day I like did a class and like it was like kind of a time when I was like feeling like just super insecure and like I wasn't like happy with my body and like I was just like not in a good space, especially just that week, like in that time. And I like went and it's like sometimes it's just the worst, you know, because when you're
I know.
And I got into the class and I was like, I just like almost started crying, but I was like, I'm not gonna cry because it was just a little overwhelming. And I was just like, I don't know, like I don't like feel confident in that moment. It was
I think
just, like,
the thing
really
that
hard.
sucks too is like the internet is just the worst place for body. There's so much body shaming on the internet. It's like women go through so much with their bodies. And I feel like just people just don't have any empathy for that.
Agree.
And it's really frustrating because people are so quick to like point the finger and try to call somebody out about their own body. And it's like, well, how do you know what is even going on in my body right now? Like,
it's crazy.
Birth control's wild. Like, this is
Periods.
crazy. Periods are wild.
Yeah.
Like, what if I'm PMSing? Or what if I have my, like, it's just people, I don't know. It frustrates me.
It does frustrate me. And it's like,
and it can make you feel really insecure. That's the thing.
yeah,
It's like,
well, even like just looking at a bad photo or like a bunch, and you're just like, ugh, like it's just so, it sucks too whenever you're like, you feel like you're, you know, being healthy or like working out, and then you see someone like say something or like even like cellulite, like, I have cellulite and like that's
which is
normal. Yeah, and it's
normal. Who cares?
And people are like I remember I was looking at the comments on one post, which like I've tried to definitely stop now.
Same.
It's I mean it's so hard, but like, you know, sometimes you just do. And I was looking and it was like like, it was like, oh my gosh, she has cellulite, and like the throw up emoji. And I was like,
whoa,
I was
she's
like,
a real human.
oh my gosh, I know, it's just so wild.
I was gonna say an example was yesterday when I was leaving class. The little set I was wearing yesterday, I feel like it was just too tight on me.
Mhm.
So you know when something's too tight and it's like pinching your skin, and it's just like, it wasn't like necessarily my most flattering little workout outfit. I probably just need a bigger size.
Yeah.
And I don't ever like, I rarely like, I would not like Google myself because I can't.
You can't.
I can't. I don't want to see what's going on. But I happened to come across this like article. They like thrive off of trying to put people down and make people look bad,
like,
and it's just been
a title
the case.
even that
it's just been the case for a really long time. But I was just looking at the photo of leaving class, and I saw a comment, and someone said she gained a massive amount of weight. I said, a massive amount of weight? And then every other thing was like, oh well, she must be pregnant. She must be pregnant. And I'm like,
and you're like, what?
Like, I am a small person.
No, you
like,
are.
I don't know. Like,
you're a tiny
what is
person.
a massive amount of, like, I get so thrown off when people just start talking about another woman's weight, or like calling out how their body is supposed to look, or even commenting on if they've lost or gained weight, or it's just like, ugh, it's gross to me.
No, it's sad. And I remember seeing something about me, and one time it was like, she's gained weight since she got followers. And I'm like, why are we pointing this out? It's like, I'm also growing up. Like,
that's the other thing too that I think I'm learning is I'm not 19 anymore. I'm 24 now. I feel like my body has changed the most even this last year. And that's what happens as you grow up and you become more of a woman. Your body fills out in different ways. Like, I think I have more hips now than I ever did when I was younger, and I can just tell that my body has changed a lot, and people are always being like, oh, she put on a little bit of weight, looks good, but like
looks good,
just like okay, like it can just really 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 be, I think, bad for your body image. And I definitely can say that when I come across any comments that have to do with my body, I get very like, it throws me really off, which is why I don't look at comments. But obviously sometimes it's like our curiosity
really
gets the best of us, and it's really hard. It can be really, it's just bad for your mental health.
I mean, that's like like you just said, like, some people have a problem even getting out of the bed in the morning, like, let alone like brushing your teeth, brushing your hair that's sometimes a mental struggle, and I think people just forget that, like, there's so much more to it than just like, oh, I gotta wake up and look good every day and like feel great, And everyone deals with it, but I think people just think sometimes the people that like put their lives out for a display sometimes is like, somehow that doesn't apply. But I mean, I get it.
There's so much bullying. It's crazy. Like,
I know I feel like you've had to deal with so much of that, and like,
I don't really know why. I feel, I don't know. It's weird. I've definitely seen things like, I feel like I got made fun of a lot for like when paparazzi would like call me someone else's name, or like, run into me, or like walk in, like, and people are like, ha 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 ha, LOL, that's so funny. And I'm just like, I feel like that's so mean. I don't think people understand, like, I'm like a sensitive person. I am and I'm not, but I am at the end of the day. So
wait, what's your sign?
Sagittarius.
Sagittarius, I knew that. Okay. Yeah, no, sorry, I just had to ask that. But yeah, sensitive for sure. You're
sensitive, but not
you're
like,
I wouldn't, a gentle person.
I wouldn't show people that I was sensitive unless I am really comfortable with you, I think. But I definitely, I get my feelings hurt. Like, I have always, I kind of went through this like phase in time where I felt like, because I was always maybe like I always felt like I was the one that like got made fun of, or like it was at like my expense in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Even amongst like friends, and I think at the same time too, though, like, you go through phases with friends where you're immature and people are picking fun of you, or like cracking jokes. But I definitely have gone through like traumatic level experiences where I felt like there was things happening that were like at my expense.
Yeah, just even in like personal offline. Oh,
yeah,
I hate
just
that.
like even in personal experiences. So that's why when people, whatever they want to say like online, I'm just like, at the end of the day, when I see negative stuff like that, I'm like, you don't even know what my life has been like. Like, you really don't. What has ever gone on behind closed doors? People really only know like this much of the story. And that has to do with so many different subjects surrounding my life. Like, they really only know like this much.
Yeah, I mean, it happens, and it's a thing, and it's
the internet
whatever.
takes everything out of context, to be
Always,
honest. Like,
always.
that's just genuinely the case with like 99% of everything.
Well, I feel like even with your relationship, like even with
yeah.
Justin, it's like people take things out of context all the time, and you're like, you don't see anything.
I read some article the other day. She was actually talking about my YouTube channel, and she was giving me like all these really rude backhanded compliments, like, I don't really want to watch her YouTube channel, but like I can't look away, and like I can't stop watching it, even though like she's boring, but like I can't stop watching her channel. And I get it. I get why. She was basically trying to say that it, like, me reaching 1 million subscribers so fast was, I don't know what she was trying to say, but she was basically giving me all these backhanded compliments and saying like it's good and I can't stop watching it, but she's boring, like just all these like weird things. And she said in the article, people are so invested in her fragile marriage. And I was like,
what?
I didn't care about anything else she said in the article except fragile marriage, because I'm like, you don't even know me.
No
You've
one
literally never met me in your entire life. How would you know anything about my relationship?
No, it's
and my marriage at that.
Your marriage, like
that
that's something
gets
that's
me very angry
private,
because you know, to me, it's like, have I had really hard and very public moments in my marriage? Absolutely. But how do you know the place that I'm in my relationship now? You don't. You don't know me. You don't know him at all. You wouldn't know. So that honestly, like, you know, when someone's talk about me all you want, talk about how boring I am on my YouTube channel. Don't talk about my husband. Don't talk about our relationship.
You guys are the sweetest.
Dramatic. But seriously, like, he is the person, and our relationship is the thing that will really get me upset and fired up.
Well, that's a sacred piece of your life,
exactly.
You know?
And it's the best thing in my life. So that's why I get so frustrated when I see people. It's just like, you're just disrespecting my relationship. And that feels wrong to me because you don't even know it. You don't know anything about it. And that gets frustrating. Well, and that's hard.
You guys keep so much private. I mean, your wedding, like, what a beautiful wedding. I like watch that video all the time. Like, seriously, it's so, you looked so beautiful. You always look beautiful, but like, I loved everything about how you were you looked so happy, and like, it was just so
I was so
personal.
Nervous on my wedding day. It's so funny because I was already married for a year, which I guess took away some of the nerves, but at the same time, like, it didn't at all. The thought of my dad walking me down the aisle was like the most daunting idea. I was just like, why do I have to do this in front of everybody? Like, but I'm the type of person where I don't like when things are about me. Like, I hate birthday parties.
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking about, like, I'm turning 25 this year, and I'm like, do I want to have
a quarter?
You know, like, I think like a 25 and then like a 30 birthdays is like a big deal, and like could be a really fun one. But I was like, you know what? The idea of everybody coming somewhere to like acknowledge me makes my stomach hurt for some reason. I don't know why that is. And I think my wedding was the same thing. Like, everybody's like traveling to a place for me and him. And like, I don't know if it's like expectations or, I mean, I had the best time. I had so much fun at my wedding, but if you like see the video of me walking down the aisle, I'm looking down the whole time.
You're like, please don't look
at the floor and then just looking at Justin, and looking at the floor and just looking at Justin, because I was like, oh my gosh, this feels so awkward.
Yeah,
like,
what a crazy experience though. Like, marriage is such, I don't know, marriage is so big to me. Like, it just always has been. And like, I mean, I grew up in like, you know, a Christian household, and so like marriage just was so like sacred and valued, and like I still think of it that way. And like, that's, I kind of feel like how I date even, you know, like I mean, you date for heartbreak or you date for, you know, marriage or love, but I don't know, I feel like that's like something I look forward to so much, is just like getting married and like being with someone and knowing, you know, like you're in it together.
Yeah. And I think if that's your goal eventually one day, like that was always my thing when I was dating and hanging out with different people is I don't like to waste time. I don't want to waste somebody else's time. Like I just, I had situations in the past where I was just having fun and just hanging out with people to get to know them and just being young and having fun. But if there was ever a situation where I saw myself potentially being serious with somebody, I was the type of person that was always like outweighing the pros and cons. And I'm like, well, do I think we're going to want the same things in life? Like, I want to end up getting married and like having a family. And like, I don't know if that's the kind of...
But your style, I feel like that's such a big thing that everyone like knows you from, especially now. Like, it's
you know what's crazy?
You're a fashion girl. Like, people totally
I guess.
associate with
when
you.
I look back on some of the things I've worn, even in the past 2 years, I'm like, what am I thinking here?
I feel like your style is just so unique to you. Like, I just know whenever it's you in an outfit.
Well, I think it's because it's like a combination of like what I'm inspired by, or I can see one picture on like Pinterest and be inspired by like one piece of the outfit.
Yeah.
If I end up wearing something and then I see like a style article about it and they're like, Hailey, picks up on the blah, blah, blah trend. And I'm like, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
I'm not even trying to do that. I just really liked that shirt.
It happens so fast. It's crazy.
It does.
I feel like that's a little bit what a lot of people my age too are like struggling with now is like, you see all these like style icons like you, for example, or like even like Devin Carlson has great style. And I know so many people talk about, it's just very like cute and like fun and like just like comfortable, but like her own thing. And like everyone looks at all these different people, and you kind of like want to do that. But at the same time, then you're like, wait, I want to like also wear things that are like flattering for me and like my body type. Because that's another thing that just like also varies.
I was going to say, I think it's knowing what works for you too. I think I love when I see people who will like recreate an outfit of mine and they have a completely different body type than me. And they'll talk about, or they'll say like, the adjustment that they made to make it work for their body type. And I love that so much. I get so inspired by that because I'm like, that's amazing. Like, she feels empowered to, try something.
Make it her own.
To make it her own. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
I love that.
That makes me really happy.
Oh, that's so great.
I think it's also like, if you have people you trust, like, and maybe trust their opinion and can be like, hey, like, is there something like not working for like what's like the one part of this outfit? Like, I feel like something's not clicking. Like, what do you think it is? Like, I'll ask Justin a lot, like, hey, do you think that this makes sense? And he's super brutally honest, super honest, which I love because I'm like, I don't want you to lie to me. It doesn't look good. So I feel like if you can have someone in your life, and I ask my stylist too, I'm like, hey, like, I put this outfit together today, but like, what is not working for this? And she might say like, I think it's the shoes, or the shirt underneath isn't doing it for me. So like, I think if there's people that you like trust their opinion and you want to ask them, that never hurts either.
That's like my favorite thing that you and Justin do whenever you guys like kind of coordinate. That definitely comes with like being around someone. I feel like you pick up on like little habits they do. I mean, you definitely probably like give him your own like tips too. Like,
I also just think honestly, we do kind of look alike in a weird way. Like, we have the same eye color and like similar. I mean, because he has like light hair and I always had light hair. I just think people are like, there's just like a lot of similarity there, but like, whatever.
That's so funny.
I hope our kids just look like little mini versions of
I know. Oh, how cute. Like, what an exciting thing to think about too. I mean, I don't know how much you want to talk about that, but like, I mean, just like thinking about like having someone that looks like you is the craziest thing to me because like I'm a combination of both of my parents. I feel like.
Ooh, I think you are.
Yeah,
I think I'm a combo. Like, I'm a lot of my mom and a lot of my dad, and I think I've changed a lot as I've gotten older. I think as I get older, I look in a lot of ways a little bit more like my mom.
But then
when I smile, I'm like my dad's twin. So I think it just changes. But also, so many people who are my friends that have kids already, they're like, whatever you think your kids are gonna look like is not what they're gonna look like.
You're wrong. Yeah.
They're like, anytime you try to think about, oh, I wonder like what my kids are gonna look like, they come out and you're like, huh. That's not what I was expecting. Like, it's like better than you could ever imagine. But I try not to do that because I don't know what my kids are gonna look like.
I love that. Have you like your entire life wanted to have kids? Is that like something that was
yeah.
just in your life?
I always like loved kids growing up. I always loved to like babysit and take
your
care
sister
of
has
kids.
a baby.
And I have a niece.
So cute.
And she's so cute.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I was like, good job, you guys. She is perfect. Like,
you are gonna be such a good mom too. The pictures I see of you,
I love
are
kids.
So cute.
I love
babies.
Babies. We both do. We both love kids so much.
I love that.
Which is great.
Do you want to have like a big family? Are you a big family girl? Like you, I
don't know.
I want to have 5 kids. I'm like, I don't know. I'm probably gonna change my mind.
I feel like
I
keep saying I'm gonna start with 1.
Very smart. Obviously, Justin does music. I think I'm kidding, but obviously Justin does music. Have you like ever like thought about like having any involvement in that, or do you?
Here's
ever?
The thing: is like I don't have a bad voice.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that I don't think I can sing. I think I have like a nice voice. I just don't think I have the voice of like being a singer.
Okay, got
you know
it.
What I mean?
Yeah.
Like anytime I'll be singing along to something and I'll be like, "Ooh, that sounded nice," and then I hear Justin sing and I'm like, "Whoa."
You're like,
never mind.
I take it back.
I take it back.
That's hilarious.
Imagine just like there's people that just have such natural ability and like these naturally just like exquisite voices. And I'm like, unless I could open my mouth and sound like Adele, I probably wouldn't pursue a career in music.
Oh my God.
Like it would have to be that kind of level or nothing for me. I did a lot of musical theater when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah, I did
That's
a lot
fun.
of musical theater for a long time.
Oh my gosh.
So I sang and I did like, but I think Broadway style singing and like making, you know, pop music is two very different things.
Completely.
It's such different styles of singing. But I'm like such a musical theater geek. I love musicals. I love musical movies. I'm super
I need
into
to see
it.
you act.
No.
Have you ever dabbled in that?
You know, I thought about it, and when I was a teenager, I did like a summer program that was like strictly for I don't know, I never felt super comfortable in it. And I think if maybe I had like done it more as a kid or like studied it more, I would feel different, but I didn't.
Yeah.
And even like recently, I actually read for a movie for like a small part in this movie, and I was like so panicked to do the like self-tape that I was like, this must not be for me, because like there's no way I should be like getting all like red and profusely sweating just to do a self-tape. It's not my comfort zone, and maybe one day it will be a little bit. It's not something I'm going to say absolutely not, I'm taking it off the table, because life changes so much.
Yeah,
and
well, and
I
it's
don't
in
know.
your family too, which is
It totally is. And you know, I think that I'm a charismatic person, and I enjoy, you know, I really enjoyed when I hosted this show called Drop the Mic. I thought that was really fun, but that's not acting. It's just, you still get to be yourself.
Yeah.
You just get to
a little bit of performance.
Yeah. And I think that, you know, sometimes even with like the YouTube channel, I get to just kind of be like a bigger version of myself. But again, it's not acting. It's not scripted.
Yeah.
It's just a different thing. So I don't know. I don't think I would say no.
Yeah.
I think I'm the type of person where I like to be really overly prepared for something.
Got it.
And I don't necessarily feel prepared to be
an
an actress.
Yeah, an actress. Oh my gosh, you should definitely do a cameo. I feel like I could definitely see you on.
I just did like a cameo in the show Dave, but I was playing myself.
Oh my gosh, no way! I need to watch that.
And we went to the premiere of like the episodes last night.
No way!
I was laying there, and the scene started, and I literally I say like one thing.
Oh my gosh!
And Justin was like laying on me, and he goes, "Why is your heart beating so fast?" And I was like, "I'm so nervous." He was like, "You're fine. You're doing a great job. Like you're fine."
Hilarious.
My heart was like pounding out of my chest. I was so nervous.
Oh my gosh!
Because I just don't ever want to do anything that's like, ugh, that was cringe. Like I don't want to be cringy. So I just wanted it to be like natural and fine. And it's literally the smallest little scene. Shout out to Dave. That show is the best show on television.
That.
It's my favorite show of all time.
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
It's so funny. I was crying laughing
Really?
last night watching the new season. But I was and I think I was nervous because I'm such a big fan of the show.
Yeah.
That I wanted it to be great. And you know, it's cute. It's fine. But my heart was beating so fast, and I was so panicked and so nervous. And I was like,
Dave cameo.
I need to calm down.
I love that. Do you have anything else like exciting you're working on? I feel like a lot of. I mean, anything you want to talk about?
It's tough because there's so many things I want to talk about, and there's something that I've been working on really hard for the last over a year.
Yeah.
But it's still so far away from like kind of happening. So I feel like if I talk about it too soon, then it's like, where is it?
Yeah.
But I'm working on something in the beauty world. And I think people kind of know that already. I just have not spoken about it in any kind of detail yet because I can't.
Totally.
But I am really excited about it. And it's something that I feel really, really passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
And that feels exciting for me. I enjoy being my own boss.
Yeah.
I enjoy learning. I love to like learn about something. And I've definitely been learning the most I ever have. When you start your own business, you have to learn a lot, and you need to be guided, and people got to help you, and you have to be open to listening and taking constructive criticism and tips. And yeah, it's been really crazy, but really, really, really fun.
Well, Hailey, this was so fun.
This
I had
was
so many
fun.
good conversations with you. I love you. I think you're so amazing.
Thank you.
I'm so happy for you and everything you're doing, and I'm really excited for what's gonna come because I know you have a lot of really exciting things.
Yeah,
I want to
I'm
go
excited.
shopping with you.
Let's do it.
I really think we should. I think that'd be so fun.
Yeah, we should do it.
And then see you in Hawaii someday.
See you in Hawaii sometime. Or
but
see you at Pilates probably tomorrow.
I'll see you at Pilates literally probably tomorrow or the next day. But I love you, and I'm so glad you came on.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Hailey Bieber.